Good afternoon, everyone. Pro Farmer Crop Tour rolling through the states. Underwhelming, disappointing. Reasons why corn prices surging 2-month high. 133 bushels an acre compared to 182 last year in Nebraska. Overall, 168. Let's compare that to the USDA at 175. Revisions will be needed. Crop tour begins. Follow the green line. It will continue upward. And you think European production will offset anything? Drought intensifying there. Get ready for higher food prices. And we're going to start over here. Highly anticipated crop tour to give us some sense of really what's happening in the fields. Iowa crop tour, which is one of the main producing states. Underwhelming and disappointing. And follow the white dotted road, continuing to Ohio. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what a Pro Farmer crop tour is, they gather data independent of the USDA on crop maturity and giving us a better glimpse than just projections. It's visiting the fields and taking a look firsthand. And by all accounts, green is the opposite direction it would normally go during the harvest season. So something's amiss, shall we say. Crop tour begins. Follow the green line up. And even at the end of August, up even more, above 670. So we'll have to break this down also in the western drought-ridden states compared to places like Ohio, Indiana, Illinois that had much more rainfall. So what you consider the Corn Belt is going to be split in half during the tour here. As we see out west, everywhere is extreme drought and moisture levels far below the norm. But as we progress more east, it does get more toward the averages. So you can't just lump it in and say it's this. It will be an average between the drought and the normal. Take a look here at Nebraska first. Pushing in at 133 bushels per acre. That is below the 3-year average of 175 bushels per acre. So it's not good here. Should be exclamation point behind that sentence there. And they have some different images of what the ears look like. Center is the best for me. Scrappy corn at best. And as we go to the bottom, you can see how small the ears are. They're not filling out. A closer look here off AgWeb, the 3 reasons why corn price is surging to a 2-month high. This is what they're finding in the fields. This is what happens when you don't have enough fertilizer and you get into natural conditions such as drought. There's a secret diet that many celebrities, CEOs, athletes, and 12.9 million other American Jews. It's the Keto Diet, and it's considered an efficient way to reach weight loss goals, increase energy levels, and enhance mental focus. That's why I switched to this amazing keto powder. It helps increase ketone levels in the body without the strict rules associated with a traditional keto diet. So results like boosted metabolism come sooner for me. Each order comes with a free ebook, the top 14 ketogenic foods. Increase the level of ketones in your body sooner with this information. 3 times better than coconut oil, butter, or MCTs. Adapt with Keto.com, notorious for selling out. But as of the making of this video, back in stock. Take 51% off your order by going to adaptwithketo.com or click on that link in the description box below. And now on with the video. And with gas prices soaring to record highs, European fertilizer chemical producers are going to shut down completely. This will usher in the largest shortage of fertilizers in human history. And I say that, no BS assessment. Rolling through South Dakota, stress on the crops before pollination. Some stalks didn't even put out ears. 0 yield. This is what we're dealing with this year out west due to dry conditions. I should say further west. Stopping at the exact same field as last year, Woodbury County put on 165 bushels per acre, lower than the 174 from last year. And out over to Indiana, quite dry, but it's still putting on a tiny bit of yield. You see the ears are pretty filled out, but there's still some gaps there. So looking at western Iowa, 198 bushels. This is by far the best performing state. Previously, though, it was 210 bushels. So wherever you look, it's down. Even in the best performing states, you can see significantly 210 down to 198. And that's only the tour that visited the certain fields. Now, there'll be other areas that were drier, but there may be some other areas that had better production, little tiny microclimates. But overall, it looks like the corn yield is going to be significantly lower than what was predicted at the beginning of the year. Anywhere from 5 to 10% is going to be lower, and USDA already slashed 4%. They had to save some sort of face or reputation by slashing, was it a month and a half ago or about 5 weeks ago? They slashed 4% knowing that they were coming into drought conditions. Didn't want to spook the market too much, but you're going to start to see it move everywhere. And it's kind of unusual for corn to move higher going into harvest season, but we're in unknown times. And that fertilizer shutdown, Germany and France now over $1,000 per barrel oil equivalent. And that's really going to put a dent into the ability for any types of manufacturing or business to continue. People are going to have trouble heating their homes this winter, let alone factories, smelters, and heavy industry moving and producing anything for our world. So we're seeing the systematic shutdown. We have the systematic shutdown of medium to small to mom and pop businesses over the last 2 years. Now we're going to watch anything produced shut down. China is already ahead of it. And our world is being, like I say, liquidated, for a better term. So putting on here 168 average for the main corn growing states. Now there's other states that grow corn also that were not included in this tour that are so dismal they're taking crop insurance on it. So to put some deeper numbers on, lined up by state in the top producing corn states. Remember, you got to really put this into perspective. These are the top producing corn states. The other peripheries are not in this tour. So that's why generally yields are going to decline further from this point as they really come into harvest season. So what we have here for Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, Ohio, and South Dakota, the states are on the far left. August 12th USDA estimates, 203 for Illinois, Pro Farmer yield 198. Indiana was supposed to come in at 189 from USDA, but it's popping at 177. So as we look through, there's declines in every single category. Like Ohio, for example, the second from the bottom was supposed to be 190 bushels per acre, coming in at 175. That's a significant difference. Now, if we swing clear over to the right on the chart, go over to the far as you can, change from 2021. 6% decline, 11.5% decline. Iowa still hanging in it, even from last year. We'll see where that moves. Minnesota actually increased yield from 2021. So when we're looking at the numbers, 193 to 191, that's for 2022. But peel back in Minnesota, they had some adverse conditions last year. But as we look through Nebraska, Ohio, and South Dakota, down 13%, down almost 8%, down almost 13%. You're going to watch market move and things are going to really start to upset. So I do believe the collapse of the financial markets begins. And the trigger is going to be something to do with corn and the ability for the Chicago Board of Trade to facilitate physical delivery to those massive amount of holders this year that want contract delivery, still standing for delivery, that never pulled back and want cash. This is going to upset something so tremendously that it is going to be the beginning of the collapse to bring in the new financial system comprised of cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, carbon allocation credits, the carbon trading market, as well as the digitization of all natural assets to have a base asset class that has a stable value. That they're going to lock off everything for 20 years plus. No humans will be allowed in there to utilize these natural resources. That's why they can get an asset class based valuation that it's agreed on to then start a new trading unit off that. Whatever it's termed, I don't know, but it's going to be digital. It's going to involve digitizing fisheries, forests, mineral resources, water rights. It's all going to be digitized and a value assessed to it that can then be traded as a pillar of the new economy. This all begins next month. And here's the trigger for it, the corn. So Keith Geeling putting out some very nice charts here, going on the ear weight and also the ear moisture. Let's take a look at these in a little more depth here. So the bright red line below everything else is 2022. So when you're looking at ear weight, okay, it's below what would have been 2018 at 14 ounces. It's right around 12 ounces. Is this significant? Could be. But when we look at the moisture content and you start to see what the weight was, this is very, very different. That bright red line on the bottom, not even at 65%, compared to most years where it would be 75 to 80% already. The quality is what we're referring and looking at here. The quality is going to be atrocious. That's what this chart means right here. Numbers will continue to decline, so the USDA is going to stick with its original estimates. It's going to swing below 13 billion bushels, which puts the USDA at least 1.1 or 1.4 billion bushels off the mark. And that 168 bushels per acre is going to continue to slide downward as we get into these periphery states and add those in too. And our farm girl next door showing us corn and soy both heading up. Remember, when we move into September 1st, it becomes a delivery month and prices can go wherever they want. Not stops on cash settle. Futures, yes. Cash settle, no. It's going to be a weird world as we move in these next 2 weeks. And as we look back in history, this is how famines begin. So I do believe that the U.S. ending stocks are going to need to also be revised downward significantly. Soybean in blue, corn in black. So all hopes are relying on European production to bring us to some sort of non-market catastrophic event. / Ukraine, gone. 47% of EU is drought-ridden and not much is growing. Anywhere you see dark red is going to be a loss. Wide that out for you. Alert vegetation stress following soil moisture and vegetation deficit. Red means bad. Orange is worse than red. And also doing crop tours across Europe. This is August 19th, so 10 days ago. Corn that had dried out before it could grow. Same exact thing that was seen in Nebraska. Nothing put on ears, it was too dry. So I'm really curious what the final totals will be coming out of Europe. So you might want to think about storable foods, and right now my Patriot supply taking $250 off the 3-month emergency food supply, 25-year shelf life. Give yourself the peace of mind knowing that you can avoid the famine and the chaos where you could stay in your home and ride this out until conditions improve for you to get out to supermarkets again. That link's in the description box below, along with the links to tonight's stories, images, and graphics so you can share with your friends and family. I do thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.